Welcome in, everybody, to the PHNX Suns pregame show presented by Michelob ULTRA. I'm Lindsay Smith. That's Espo. That's Saul Bookman. It's weird saying Espo's name before Saul's because usually it's the opposite order. How you guys doing tonight?
It's opposite day.
It is opposite day. We're in the opposite studios. We're all kinds of things.
We'll get it fixed before postgame.
Oh, okay, perfect. That works. Tonight, the Phoenix Suns will be facing off against the Miami Heat, and both teams are going to be shorthanded in this one. Let's set the mood by looking at the injury report.
Set the mood, baby.
My mood is not great, Bob, because Kevin Durant, Nasir Little, and Eric Gordon are all out
Newsflash,
for this game.
The Suns are injured.
Miami Heat, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, and Haywood Highsmith are also all out. So, hey, at least both teams are dealing with issues.
What is a MP joint strain?
I have no idea.
The first one, there's multiple ones apparently. So.
Yeah, I have no clue. I just listen, I'm super bummed because I 100% did not feel like this Kevin Durant injury when we first heard about it the second night of the back-to-back earlier this week. I didn't think it was going to be a thing. I just thought, it's second night of back-to-back. I get it. KD's been carrying a lot of the load. Sit out for a game. Maybe two. And then yesterday, all of a sudden now it's like, oh, it's no longer soreness. It's an actual hamstring strain, y'all. This is legit. And I feel bamboozled. I'm just every other day it's the big three and then it's not the big three. And I knew we were destined for some KD shenanigans. I'm not saying that I wasn't prepared for that, but I guess I kind of wasn't prepared for that. I knew it was coming, but mentally I wasn't ready for it.
What bothers me is it feels like the Suns never give the full picture on an injury right away. We hear soreness, then all of a sudden it's a strain, they didn't know. I think it's
which makes you feel great about their medical staff.
Yeah, soreness. Yeah, put it down.
Oh shit, it's a strain, guys.
Yeah. Well, and even the way that Frank Vogel addressed it, where he called it a strain, then he looks, are we saying that? He's even acknowledging, hey, we're kind of fudging this a little bit. Right. I don't like that.
Well, and then he also was kind of because obviously there were follow-up questions as far as okay, there's different levels of strains. How bad is it? And he was like, I'm not going to tell you that, but he is technically still day to day. But I'm just
yeah, we're all day to day. That's life.
Some of us are minute to minute. Listen, I don't know. We've been talking all year about, the big three, the big three, the big three, the big three. I have reserved myself to just hoping that I get two of the three on the court at the same time. And I also have reserved myself to not making excuses for this Suns team if they don't have all three on the court. Because I don't want to keep saying, well, if KD comes back, this all changes. Or if Bradley Beal comes back, this all changes. Or we might legitimately get to the playoffs and still not have the big three. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just you gotta deal with the stages of grief and move on. And I feel like I have just accepted this.
I'm not there yet. I'm still in is confusion one of the stages of grief? Because if it's not, then that's where I'm at though. Because I get it, but I'm also just I ain't about that life.
Yeah,
I have not accepted it.
I vacillate between anger and acceptance. Okay. The anger is that people in the offseason may have been right, and you put together three guys that are just injury prone, and it's destined to be like this. So, but the acceptance is, I think I'm there with Saul. You're not making any excuses anymore. You have enough talent to win even without one of the big three. You need to be doing it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter when they're all together, because you're going to be out of contention in the way you want to compete. You want to win a title, and if you can't start winning games and getting closer to home court advantage in the long run, I don't think this is going to be a successful season.
Well, I agree with you that you still have 2 of the big 3 out there. You should be able to win games. I've been saying that all year long. Like, I'm fully on board with you on that one. I just think so much hinges on having all 3 of them out there when we look towards the future of this season and into the playoffs, that if we can't get it semi-figured out, then we could be in for a world of hurt. And I don't love that for us. But that's what we're dealing with tonight. So we got some injuries, which means the starting 5 is going to look a little bit different. Well, I guess it's the same that we've seen for the last couple of games, but the bench is going to look a little different tonight. But starters, we're looking at Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Chimezie Metu, and Yusuf Nurkic. So rolling with the same squad.
Nope. They missed the opportunity. This should have been the Bol Bol starting game. I love me some Chimezie, but if you're gonna go all in on this and play him, just start him.
But then who's gonna be our spark off the bench? Who's gonna start a little run for us? Who's gonna invigorate the Suns when we need that?
Yuta Debussy? I did it again. Watanabe. God, that's how much I don't think of Yuta Watanabe as part of this team. I default to Yuta Debussy.
So then you can't be Yuta who does that, clearly. It's got to be Bol Bol. Bol Bol's got to come off the bench and continue to do the things that we've seen him do the last couple of games. So, but I do think not having Eric Gordon out there could potentially be a little bit tough. I know he's hot and cold from night to night, but the Miami Heat aren't any scrubs when it comes to three-point shooting. It'd be nice to have a three-point shooting specialist in tonight's game.
You know what's so cool about the Miami Heat is that when they play their games, they don't make excuses about why if they had Jimmy Butler on the court, then things are different, right?
Yeah.
I think sometimes that's probably my main irritation is that, like, when we finally do get the big 3, sure, we see things open up a little bit and it's a little bit more fluid and things move a little bit better, of course. But you're also implying that this is the norm, and it's not the norm. It's abnormal to have the big 3, and you have to adjust, and your DNA of who you are as a franchise has got to step up. And we've heard so much about Heat culture, and as stupid as it might sound to us, it works for them because they got guys stepping up left and right. Damn, Jaime Jaquez is fucking balling right now.
He's their 3rd highest scorer on their team.
Who on our side is stepping up? To that level.
Bol Bol.
Not very many people. Like Grayson Allen, you could make an argument for, but even Grayson's scoring is kind of erratic. But everything else is good with Grayson, so I'm not going to dog on him. But nobody else has been consistent, and that's just it's so infuriating and it's frustrating to watch that as a fan because you're like, I thought I had bigger hopes for this bench unit. I did, and I'll admit that I was completely wrong on a couple of these guys so far. And I don't know if there's going to be a path forward to where they get better. I just don't.
I mean, listen, when it comes to the Heat culture, it's real. Playing team basketball is a thing for them, like 100%, stepping up when players are injured. They're 5-1 in their last 6 games that they haven't had Jimmy Butler available, and I believe 6-4 on the season when Jimmy is out. So they understand that, like, yeah, Jimmy is super valuable to us and we need him, but in the instances where he is absent, somebody has to do something, and majority of the time, somebody does do something.
To your point about Heat culture and their 8-point win against the Lakers, they played 8 guys. All of them had double figures.
Exactly.
Like this is a team. Yes, Jimmy Butler's important. They're all important, but they pick up their teammates when guys are missing, when things aren't going their way. And you bring up 3-point shooting tonight has a potential to be brutal. The Heat are the 2nd best 3-point shooting team in the league at 38.8%. They have Duncan Robinson at 43%, Kyle Lowry shooting 43%, Tyler Hero at 42.9%, and the Suns are giving up the 2nd worst 3-point percentage to opponents in the game.
We've seen this story before with the Miami Heat when they came in last time and they just shot the lights out. And, you got to defend. If you're going to beat the Miami Heat, you better defend because they're going to defend you. And so I'm interested to see who's going to step up. And I have confidence that, the usual suspects are going to play their game. I think Book has finally snapped out of his funk, hopefully. I think, Bradley Beal, hopefully he finds more opportunities to score at a higher clip and become a little bit more consistent. And Grayson Allen's got to score a lot more than he did the other night. Like I thought that he was kind of MIA.
10?
Yeah, he finished with 10, and 10's not good enough. It's not good enough when you need everybody else to step up and score. So who is that dude? Who's that dude? I actually liked the way Metu played last game. I know a lot of people didn't. I actually thought he showed decisiveness, quickness around the bigs, but it wasn't enough to really warrant him to be a significant part of this team scoring-wise. So who's going to step up? Who's going to ball? Because Miami's going to punch you in the mouth.
They are.
Who's going to accept it and move on and try to punch them back?
I will say, though, if the Suns play the full 48 minutes like they played the second half of the game against the Clippers on Wednesday, they're going to be fine in this game, in my opinion. It's if you have a lackadaisical first half or a lackadaisical second half and you only play for 2 quarters, that you're going to find yourself in trouble. But if they come out knowing that they're going to play the exact same way they played in the second half of Wednesday's game, I think things will be okay because the Clippers defense is one of the top in the league, of course. So you'll be all right. And they have to just be at the very least serviceable in defending that 3-point line.
Yeah, but that if is a huge, because
that's the problem, right?
What have we seen? We've seen a complete game from this team very rarely.
Yes.
And tonight it really feels like they're going to need that complete game, and there's such a slim margin for error. They're averaging almost 15 turnovers a game, and the Heat are third best at steals at over 7.5 in the game. So if you get sloppy at all on either end of the floor, you're screwed tonight. And hands down, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, but fingers crossed that the Suns know what they need to do and they actually come out and do it tonight. But that remains to be seen. Until then, Espo, what are they going to be wearing?
Oh, well, they're going with the El Valle yet again, the City Edition, and the Heat are going with their Association Edition, white, red, and yellow. I don't mind these Heat uniforms. I prefer the old school throwback ones from the 90s, but I don't mind these.
The pink one? Oh, no, the Miami Vice ones will always be one of my favorite jerseys.
Yeah, I like the murder ransom note jerseys.
Oh, I do too, actually. Honestly, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but I love them. I think they're super fun.
I'm going to gift one to Espo for his birthday.
You guys have terrible taste.
No, you do.
I say this with all due respect to the El Valle jerseys, but they are starting to have a negative connotation in my mind.
Okay, don't blame the jerseys.
Because every time I feel like we wear those,
don't blame the jerseys
we
because
lose.
the bodies inside the jerseys aren't stepping up when they're supposed to.
I'm just saying, like
they're like 500 this year. I mean, you could say that about a lot of uniforms this year. They're not performing well in general.
I'm just saying.
Aren't we like, if we win tonight, we'll be back to 500 at home on the season? So you can't blame the El Valle jerseys. That's just not fair to the El Valle jerseys. All right, who you guys got tonight by how much?
Oh, I'm not feeling good. So that's a lot of
all of you guys. Gerald saw Espo's Suns by 1?
I went with the fucking shrug emoji, but Eric
we made you pick a number.
Yeah, Eric couldn't.
I would have been able to get it if it was calmer around these parts.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
So I don't know. It entirely depends on how aggressive the Suns come out tonight in the first quarter and set the tone. If they come out soft, like they did against the Clippers, oh boy, ain't gonna be good.
Yeah,
but I could easily see them coming out and balling out. So I don't know.
I have a little bit of faith that the Suns will win this game, so I'm going Suns by 3.
Wouldn't it be nice?
What do our friends at the Bet MGM Sportsbook app think?
Yeah, they actually favored the Suns by 3.5 tonight,
Okay.
which surprised me. I did not expect a 3.5 point favorite. I thought it would be in that 2 range. So.
It's a trap.
I don't know. I still think the Suns win. I just don't think it's an easy game. That's the biggest thing. I still think the Suns win. They have all the tools and all the capability to beat the Heat tonight. It's just a matter of if they decide to utilize them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a very even matchup. The Suns are better offensively than the Heat. The Heat are better than the Suns defensively. But really, you look at net rating, the Heat have a net rating of 13. The Suns are 14th. So in theory, this is going to be a very close game. And if the Suns can take care of those few areas that we talked about, they should be able to win at home. But I don't know that I have a whole lot of faith that they're going to get the defense right from three-point land and not turn over the ball. So
yeah. Everybody asking where Flex is. He's in New Jersey. We told you. He went back home for a little bit, but he'll be back on Sunday. Don't you guys worry your pretty little hearts. What are you guys putting your money on?
I went with the 3-leg parlay tonight for plus 310. I said total points over 229.5, Beal plus 20 points, and Devin Booker plus 25 points.
Okay.
Solid.
I couldn't go money line in a bet tonight.
No,
I just did not feel.
I am stopping all money line bets from this point forward until I feel confident in either side of the ball. I have a 5-leg parlay. I got Nurkic for over 10.5, Beal over 21.5, Jaime Jaquez over 13.5, PRA for Grayson Allen of 20+, and PRA of Nurkic of over 20+. I think those are all solid. Again, I'll probably miss out by like 2 points on something.
It's going to be the Grayson Allen thing.
Well, that's why I changed it instead of points. I changed it to point PRA because he would have gotten PRA in 20 last time. But
yeah. Grayson Allen is always such a tough guy to bet on because it's usually by like 1 or 2 points. Yeah. When you're betting the points anyway for him, it's always 1 or 2. But the 2 games before, he'll surpass that number. But then the night you decide to put him in your parlay, that's when it's a struggle. I went with a kind of simple one tonight. We'll see. I haven't done this one yet this season. So Devin Booker to not miss a free throw in the game at a plus 125.
You're going to lose that early.
I mean, yeah, listen, I just felt like I was going to try something different tonight. This is one of the prop bets on BetMGM. I kind of like their prop bets. I just think they're fun. This one they call the Rick Barry. So I haven't done it yet. So maybe it'll be good luck.
Does he have to shoot them underhand like Rick Barry? Is that the rule?
He can do whatever he wants as long as he makes them. Flex is going to be taking the Suns money line tonight at a minus 140.
That's a bad bet.
So I don't know. This might be Flex's first win in a hot minute. It might be really good for him.
Which is great because it's the default bet when you don't get one in.
Turn things around real quick. But listen, if you guys want to get in on the action, head on over to your app store, download the BetMGM Sportsbook app, and sign up using that bonus code PHNX. Right now, when you use that code PHNX, you're going to get a $1,500 first bet offer from our friends over at BetMGM. All you got to do is place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $10. And if that bet loses, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. You can check out the show notes for full details. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
Get stuffed, Ontario.
So there might be a little added emotion to tonight's game. I don't know. You guys tell me how you feel about this one. But Bradley Beal said on a, what was it, like a video blog?
A video blog on Anscape, the ESPN offshoot.
So this past offseason, he said, and eventually it came to a point where Miami said they just can't do it. And that kind of was like a gut punch. I was like, dang, that was my spot. But it was an eye-opener for sure. Initially, Bradley Beal wanted to go to Miami before he ended up here with the Suns. So you think there's going to be some feelings about that or no?
I hope so. I hope he.
I wouldn't mind it.
I hope he has a chip on his shoulder because of that. Like, that was his number one. We were number 2. I'm okay with that. I don't really care. Well, he ended up coming here, so it's cool. But I guess maybe Miami just felt like he didn't fit within their DNA. And they were really going hard after Dame, too. We can't forget about that. They really wanted to – they put all their chips into Dame first before Bradley Beal because they felt like he was more of the difference maker than Brad.
Do you think it's a DNA thing, though, between Bradley Beal and the Heat? Or do you think it was the fact that Bradley Beal has a thick-ass contract?
I think it was both.
Yeah.
I would say it was more the money than anything.
That contract is thick.
But I think it was both. But I think Beal's got to be motivated tonight, right? Because you talk about it. Beal really wanted to be there. Suns came out of nowhere. He actually was talking about the Knicks were another team. There was like 3 or 4 other teams, and it wasn't until Matt Ishbia called him and said, hey, if I can figure out how to pull this off, we want you here. And that was when he thought, oh, okay, this is an actual opportunity. But he wanted to be in Miami. And when you're told you're not wanted by somebody that you want, yeah, you're gonna feel a certain way about that. And I hope he plays the spurned lover game tonight, where he comes out and we see full Bradley Beal, drops 30. You want somebody, they don't want you back. Anyways.
No. I thought you said something different.
All right then. But yeah, I hope he comes out really fired up because of it. And we have not seen a true vintage Bradley Beal performance since he's been in Phoenix. I hope tonight's the night.
Yeah, and I mean, now that he's got a few games under his belt, he's starting to feel a little more comfortable within his body, building a little bit more chemistry with his teammates. Maybe we'll get that. I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, Bradley Beal, please feel some type of way about the Miami Heat tonight. We will all thank you for it in the post-game show.
I would very much like to see a nice thick number right there next to those points. 38. 38, Brad. That's a thick number. Let's
go.
How about
52 for the $52 million you're going to owe him in the final year of the deal, I think. So.
Maybe. Listen, guys, I know a lot of you in the comments are asking us to talk about the All-Star voting, and we absolutely will in the post-game show. So you're going to have to come back and join us post-game for that conversation, but we'll give you a little teaser here. It's trash.
I believe it's also cheeks.
Cheeks.
I don't think we need to do a post-game show anymore. I think you guys pretty much covered it.
But come back and hang out with us post-game. Of course, we are going to be talking about the game, but we will also discuss the All-Star voting as well. And in case you forgot, tonight is a watch-along, which means we're going to wrap up this pregame show. We're going to go get set up, and you guys can watch the entire game with Saul and Espo. I'll pop in potentially occasionally here and there.
Oh, I thought it was just Lindsay by herself.
Nope.
Yeah, we only set up Lindsay. We set up one chair for you.
We're all going to sit there and watch the game in silence, and I'm just going to take a few notes on my computer, and then maybe I'll tweet one time during the game. We can do that.
When Lindsay pops in, you and I just run off set. She's going to have to stay.
I'm going to leave. You act like I'm just going to stay there. But you guys are going to have a lot of fun with Espo and Saul. So you leave this feed, and then in like 10 minutes or so, you hop on that feed. And then after that one's done, on the post game. So we literally planned out your entire night for you. You're welcome. Okay, that's it. Any final thoughts?
Nope, let's go get a dub.
All right, bye.
We all silly like the mayor.